imagine a world where the struggles of adolescence take physical form, where insecurities, fears, and emotional turmoil warp reality. Welcome to the world of Rascal, does not dream of bunny girl senpai. This anime is a unique blend of coming-of-age drama and supernatural mystery, centering around Sakuta Azusagawa, a high schooler whose quiet life is anything but ordinary. Set against the serene backdrop of Fujisawa, the story kicks off when Sakuta encounters Mai Sakurajima, a former actress whose existence is fading from people's memories. The series explores adolescence syndrome, a mysterious phenomenon that manifests the emotional struggles of teenagers in strange and surreal ways. It's a deeply personal story for Sakuta, whose own life has been touched by the syndrome. Each arc of the show introduces a new character with their own battle, weaving together themes of love, identity, and the pain of growing up. The opening episode sets the tone perfectly, balancing humor and introspection. Sakuta's dry wit and Mai's guarded demeanor immediately establish a compelling dynamic, one that forms the heart of the series. Their first meeting in the library, a seemingly mundane moment, is anything but. Mai, dressed in a bunny girl outfit, is testing whether anyone can see her. To her surprise, Sakuta can. This encounter propels them into a story filled with emotional depth and supernatural intrigue. What makes this anime truly special is its focus on dialogue and character development. Unlike many supernatural stories, Bunny Girl Senpai grounds its fantastical elements in deeply human struggles. The adolescent syndrome becomes a metaphor for issues we all face: the fear of being overlooked, the pain of rejection, and the challenge of accepting ourselves. From the very first moments, the series draws you in with its relatable themes and endearing characters. The animation and soundtrack create a sense of quiet intimacy, making every interaction between Sakuta and Mai feel authentic and heartfelt. Even the smallest details, like the sound of waves in the background or the stillness of the library, add to the show's atmosphere. So, let's begin at the start: a boy, a girl, and an empty library that becomes the stage for one of anime's most iconic moments. Mai Sakurajima's arc is the cornerstone of Bunny Girl Senpai and introduces the central theme of feeling invisible in a world that demands attention. When Sakuta meets Mai, she's grappling with a condition that causes her to become invisible to those around her, a phenomenon tied to adolescence syndrome. This invisibility is a literal representation of Mai's emotional state. After stepping away from her acting career, she finds herself forgotten by a society that once couldn't stop watching her. The first signs of Mai's condition are subtle but haunting. She wanders through crowded spaces, unseen and unheard, until she meets Sakuta, the only person who can see her. Their conversations in the library and on the train are tinged with Mai's dry humor and Sakuta's unwavering curiosity. Sakuta's immediate decision to help her reveals his empathetic nature, and their banter begins to build a foundation of trust between them. Mai's struggle is rooted in her strained relationship with her mother, who treated her more like a commodity than a daughter. Her decision to leave the entertainment industry was an act of rebellion, but it came at a cost. As Mai retreated from the spotlight, the world began to forget her, mirroring her internal fear of being unimportant. Sakuta's presence, however, gives her hope that someone can truly see her for who she is. One of the most memorable moments of the arc is when Mai tests her invisibility in public by walking through a crowded shopping center in her bunny outfit. The scene is both humorous and heartbreaking, highlighting how isolated she feels, despite being in a sea of people. Sakuta's unwavering support during these moments cements their bond, showing that he's willing to stand by her no matter what. The climax of Mai's arc is emotionally charged. As she disappears entirely from everyone's memory, Sakuta risks humiliation to bring her back. Standing in a crowded classroom, he shouts her name and confesses his love, forcing everyone to acknowledge her presence. It's a powerful scene that speaks to the importance of fighting for the people you care about, even when the odds seem insurmountable. By the end of the arc, Mai regains her visibility, but her journey isn't just about being seen by others, it's about reclaiming her sense of self. She learns that she doesn't need the world's approval to matter, her worth comes from within. Her relationship with Sakuta blossoms, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Mai's arc sets the stage for the series' exploration of adolescence syndrome as a metaphor for emotional pain. It's a story about connection, courage, and the fight to be seen in a world that often looks the other way. Tomo Koga's arc shifts the focus from invisibility to the pressures of social acceptance and the fear of rejection, a theme that hits close to home for many viewers. Tomo is introduced as a cheerful and lively underclassman, but her outgoing personality masks a deep-seated fear of embarrassment. Her adolescence syndrome manifests as a time loop, trapping her in the same day repeatedly whenever she anticipates a socially humiliating event. The arc begins when Tomo finds herself in an awkward situation. She overhears classmates gossiping about her potentially dating a boy she likes. Rather than face potential rejection or ridicule, Tomo inadvertently triggers the time loop. Sakuta, having been drawn into the loop, is the only one who notices the strange phenomenon and decides to help her break free. The dynamic between Tomo and Sakuta is playful yet layered, as Sakuta's blunt honesty often contrasts with Tomo's cautious and image-conscious nature. One of the pivotal moments early in this arc occurs when Tomo asks Sakuta to pretend to be her boyfriend. Her request is a desperate attempt to maintain her social standing and avoid further gossip. While the premise is comedic on the surface, it also highlights Tomo's vulnerability. She feels trapped by the expectations of her peers, a sentiment that resonates with anyone who's ever felt the pressure to fit in. Sakuta agrees, not because he wants to play along, but because he recognizes her need for support. As the days repeat, Sakuta and Tomo grow closer, and her cheerful facade begins to crack. She opens up about her insecurities, admitting that she's terrified of being judged and ostracized. Sakuta's unwavering support helps her see the value in being true to herself rather than constantly trying to please others. Their fake relationship, though built on a lie, allows Tomo to experience genuine moments of connection and warmth. The emotional climax of this arc comes when Tomo realizes that she's fallen for Sakuta. In one of the most heart-wrenching scenes, she tearfully confesses her feelings, knowing that he's already in love with Mai. Despite the pain, Tomo demonstrates immense courage by choosing to break the loop and face the uncertainty of the future. Her decision marks a significant turning point in her character, as she learns to embrace vulnerability and let go of her fear of rejection. Tomo's arc isn't just about the time loop, it's a powerful exploration of self-worth and authenticity. Her journey teaches her that it's better to face life's challenges head-on than to live in fear of what others might think. The growth she experiences is both painful and inspiring, as she transforms from someone paralyzed by social pressures into a person willing to take risks and accept herself for who she is. By the end of the arc, Tomo and Sakuta part ways with a bittersweet sense of closure. Though their relationship was never real in a romantic sense, it had a profound impact on both of them. For Tomo, it was a step toward self-discovery. For Sakuta, it was another reminder of the importance of empathy and connection. This arc leaves viewers with a deep appreciation for the courage it takes to face our fears and embrace who we truly are. Rio Futaba's arc is one of the most introspective and intellectually driven in the series, tackling themes of self-acceptance, identity, and loneliness. Rio, Sakuta's close friend and the resident science enthusiast, initially appears as a calm, rational, and grounded individual. However, her adolescence syndrome reveals a much deeper inner struggle. Her syndrome manifests as her physical self splitting into two separate entities, each embodying opposing aspects of her personality. The arc begins when Sakuta notices something unusual, two Rios appearing at different places at the same time. At first, the existence of two versions of Rio seems like an anomaly, but it quickly becomes apparent that the split is a manifestation of her internal conflict. One version of Rio is her reserved and analytical self, who suppresses her emotions and focuses solely on logic. The other is more open, emotionally vulnerable, and expressive, a side she has long tried to keep hidden. This duality reflects Rio's fear of being truly seen and understood. She struggles with feelings of inadequacy and a longing for connection, yet she's terrified of being vulnerable. The divide between her two selves symbolizes the battle between the image she presents to the world and the emotions she suppresses. Sakuta, always perceptive, realizes that this isn't just a scientific puzzle to solve, it's a deeply personal crisis for Rio. One of the arc's most powerful scenes is a late-night conversation between Sakuta and one version of Rio, where she admits her insecurities. She confesses that she feels unattractive and isolated, despite being intelligent and capable. The honesty of this moment makes it deeply relatable, as it captures the universal experience of self-doubt. Sakuta, in his straightforward way, reassures her that she's more valued and appreciated than she realizes, helping her see herself in a new light. As the arc progresses, the two versions of Rio begin to interact, exposing the tension between them. The emotionally open Rio resents the reserved version for bottling up their feelings, while the reserved Rio struggles to justify her need for control and emotional restraint. This internal dialogue forces Rio to confront the parts of herself she's avoided. She learns that she doesn't have to choose between her rational and emotional sides, both are integral to who she is. The resolution of Rio's arc is both emotional and symbolic. In a poignant scene, the two versions of her finally merge back into one, signifying her acceptance of her entire self. This transformation is beautifully understated, with Rio coming to terms with her vulnerabilities and realizing that she doesn't need to face the world alone. Sakuta's unwavering support throughout the arc demonstrates the importance of having someone who sees you for who you truly are, flaws and all. Rio's story is a thoughtful exploration of self-identity and the human need for connection. It reminds viewers that embracing our complexities and imperfections is essential to understanding who we are. Her growth resonates deeply, leaving a lasting impression as one of the series' most thought-provoking arcs. Through Rio's journey, the show emphasizes that no one is ever truly alone in their struggles, and that accepting ourselves is the first step to forging genuine connections with others. Nodoka Toyohama's arc takes a deep dive into the complexities of sibling relationships, jealousy, and self-worth. Nodoka, Mai's younger half-sister, is introduced as a cheerful and ambitious idol with a bubbly personality. However, beneath her confident exterior lies a sea of insecurities, stemming from constantly comparing herself to her older sister. Mai's overwhelming success as an actress casts a long shadow, leaving Nodoka feeling inadequate and invisible. The arc begins with a dramatic twist. Nodoka and Mai experience a body swap due to adolescence syndrome. Nodoka wakes up in Mai's body and vice versa, forcing them to live each other's lives. This phenomenon highlights the central conflict of the arc, Nodoka's envy of Mai's talent and perceived perfection. Through Mai's calm and composed demeanor, Nodoka believes her sister has it all, from beauty and fame to confidence. However, this body swap challenges those perceptions and forces both sisters to confront their feelings. Living as Mai, Nodoka quickly realizes the immense pressure and responsibility that come with her sister's life. From photo shoots to acting gigs, Mai's daily routine is grueling, and every move is scrutinized by the public. Nodoka begins to see the cracks in Mai's polished exterior and understands that her sister's life isn't as effortless as it seems. Meanwhile, Mai, in Nodoka's body, observes the pressure Nodoka places on herself to succeed as an idol, driven by her desire to impress their mother and escape Mai's shadow. One of the arc's most emotional moments occurs when Nodoka, overwhelmed by her insecurities, lashes out at Mai. She confesses that she feels like she'll never measure up, no matter how hard she tries. This raw and vulnerable admission lays bare the emotional toll of constantly comparing herself to Mai. Instead of responding with anger, Mai comforts Nodoka, assuring her that she's valuable, just as she is. This scene highlights the depth of their bond and marks a turning point in their relationship. The resolution comes during a heartfelt confrontation, where Nodoka and Mai finally open up to each other. Nodoka admits that her envy stemmed from a place of admiration, while Mai reveals that she's always been rooting for Nodoka to succeed in her own way. Their mutual understanding allows them to reconcile and switch back to their original bodies. This act symbolizes their acceptance of themselves and each other, no longer wishing to trade places or live someone else's life. The relationship between Nodoka and Mai is a poignant reminder of the struggles that often exist within families. The pressures of comparison and competition can strain even the closest bonds, but open communication and empathy can heal those wounds. Nodoka's journey is about finding her own identity and realizing that she doesn't need to emulate Mai to be loved or respected. She learns to appreciate her own strengths and individuality, which helps her step out of her sister's shadow. By the end of the arc, Nodoka emerges as a more confident and self-assured person. Her relationship with Mai is stronger than ever, built on mutual respect and understanding. This arc resonates with anyone who has ever felt overshadowed or struggled to find their own path, delivering a heartfelt message about self-acceptance and the importance of embracing our unique qualities. Kaede Azusagawa's arc is perhaps the most emotional and heartbreaking in the series, focusing on themes of trauma, recovery, and the struggle to reclaim one's identity. Kaede, Sakuta's younger sister, has been dealing with the effects of adolescence syndrome since before the series began. Her syndrome manifests as physical injuries whenever she's subjected to online bullying, symbolizing the real emotional scars caused by cruel words and isolation. Over time, her condition worsens to the point where she withdraws completely from society, refusing to leave her home. At the start of the arc, Kaede seems to be on the path to recovery. With Sakuta's constant support, she has gradually opened up, finding joy in small, everyday activities. However, it becomes clear that her cheerful demeanor is a mask for her deeper fears. She avoids thinking about the life she left behind, including her past self, confident, outgoing, and connected to the world. Kaede's trauma has left her with a fragmented sense of identity, unable to reconcile who she was with who she has become. The turning point in Kaede's arc comes when she finds a list of goals she wrote to challenge herself. The list includes small but significant steps, such as going outside, attending school, and talking to new people. These goals are monumental for someone like Kaede, and each attempt to fulfill them highlights her courage and determination. One of the most touching moments occurs when she steps outside for the first time in years, with Sakuta by her side. The scene is both uplifting and bittersweet, as it marks progress but also underscores the immense effort it takes for her to face the world again. As Kaede begins to make strides toward recovery, the series reveals the true nature of her condition. Her adolescence syndrome stems from the overwhelming stress of being bullied, but there's another layer to her struggle. Kaede's current personality is a result of memory loss caused by the trauma, and she is essentially a different version of herself. This revelation hits both Kaede and Sakuta hard, as they realize that if Kaede's memories return, the version of her that Sakuta has come to know and love might disappear. The climax of the arc is an emotional roller coaster. Kaede's memories eventually begin to resurface, and she recalls the person she used to be. In an incredibly moving scene, she writes a letter to Sakuta, thanking him for his unwavering support and expressing her fear of losing the bond they've built. Sakuta's grief is palpable as he struggles to let go of the Kaede he has come to cherish, even though he knows it's a sign of her recovery. Their sibling bond is beautifully portrayed, showing the depth of their love and the sacrifices they're willing to make for each other. Kaede's arc ends on a bittersweet note. She regains her memories and begins to reintegrate into society, but the version of her that Sakuta cared for so deeply fades away. Despite this, the arc leaves a lasting message about the resilience of the human spirit and the power of unconditional support. Kaede's journey reminds us that recovery is never linear, and healing often comes with difficult choices and painful goodbyes. This arc is one of the most powerful in Bunny Girl Senpai, as it delves into the emotional toll of trauma and the strength it takes to rebuild one's life. Kaede's story resonates with anyone who has faced adversity or supported a loved one through challenging times. It's a testament to the importance of kindness, understanding, and the courage to move forward, even when the path ahead is uncertain. Shoko Makinohara is one of the most enigmatic characters in Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and her arc is one of the most emotionally charged, blending love, fate, and tragedy. Unlike the other girls affected by adolescence syndrome, Shoko's existence itself is a mystery. She appears at two different points in time, once as a kind older girl who helped Sakuta during a difficult period in his life, and again as a middle schooler dealing with her own struggles. Her arc forces Sakuta to confront some of the most difficult decisions he's ever had to make. Shoko is first introduced in Sakuta's past, during a time when he was suffering from the scars of adolescence syndrome. She appears like a guardian angel, gentle, wise, and comforting. At the time, she offers him advice that shapes the way he supports others. Sakuta, who had been lost and confused, finds solace in her words, though she mysteriously disappears soon after. Her impact lingers, as he often recalls her kindness when helping Mai and the others. However, her true significance is only revealed later in the series, when she reappears as a middle schooler suffering from a terminal illness. Shoko's adolescence syndrome manifests in a way that transcends time itself. She exists in both a younger and older version of herself, with the older Shoko living in a future where she survives her illness, only because Sakuta, in that timeline, tragically dies in a car accident. When Sakuta discovers this, he is faced with an impossible choice: allow Shoko to live by sacrificing himself or change fate to save himself while dooming her. This moral dilemma adds an extra layer of emotional depth to the story, showing how love and fate are often intertwined in painful ways. One of the most powerful moments of this arc occurs when Sakuta and Mai struggle to decide what to do. Mai, unwilling to lose Sakuta, makes the heartbreaking decision to take his place, ensuring his survival while sacrificing herself instead. This act of selflessness shakes Sakuta to his core, forcing him to realize how much Mai truly means to him. However, the emotional climax reaches new heights when, through the influence of Shoko's syndrome, time is altered again, giving Sakuta the chance to prevent either sacrifice from happening. In the final moments of the arc, Sakuta and Mai successfully rewrite their fates, ensuring that Shoko gets a second chance at life without anyone having to die for it. Though their memories of certain events fade, the emotional weight remains, leaving an everlasting impression. This resolution is both uplifting and bittersweet, as it reinforces the idea that even if memories fade, the emotions and bonds shared with others remain. Shoko's arc stands as a beautiful and heartbreaking meditation on fate, sacrifice, and the power of love. Her presence in Sakuta's life, though fleeting, shapes who he becomes, showing that even the briefest connections can leave a lasting impact. Through her story, the series explores one of its most profound themes: the idea that our choices define us, but love has the power to transcend even time itself. As Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai approaches its conclusion, the themes of adolescence, self-discovery, and the complexity of relationships come full circle. Through the experiences of Mai, Tomo, Rio, Nodoka, and Kaede, the series paints a powerful portrait of the emotional turbulence that accompanies youth. Each character's personal struggle with their adolescent syndrome serves as a metaphor for real-world challenges: the weight of expectations, the search for identity, the fear of rejection, and the haunting scars of past trauma. In the final episodes, Sakuta reflects on the growth of the people around him, particularly his deepening bond with Mai, who has become the anchor of his life. The relationship between Sakuta and Mai stands as the heart of the series. Their connection is unique, rooted not only in love, but in mutual understanding and support. Mai, despite her celebrity status, is vulnerable in ways that few people know, and Sakuta's empathy allows him to see past her fame and connect with her on a personal level. This depth of understanding is a key theme in the series: the idea that real love and friendship are born from truly seeing someone for who they are, flaws and all. Sakuta's final monologue in the series encapsulates his growth as a person. Throughout the show, he's dealt with his own insecurities and the pain of being misunderstood. But as he looks back on his relationships with the girls who've shaped his life, he realizes that his role in their stories was more than just a passive observer. Sakuta was their constant, the person who helped them navigate their own personal storms, and in return, they helped him confront his past. His growth parallels theirs. He learns the importance of being open to vulnerability and the value of leaning on others. In addition to Sakuta's reflections, the closing moments of the series tie up the individual arcs of the other characters, showing how far they've come. Tomo is no longer trapped by the fear of public judgment. Rio has reconciled the different parts of her personality. Nodoka has learned to step out of Mai's shadow and embrace her own path. And Kaede, though forever changed, is moving forward with the support of those who love her. Their personal growth is a testament to the power of human connection and the strength found in facing one's struggles. The closing scenes also highlight the unspoken bond between Sakuta and Mai. Mai's decision to stay by Sakuta's side is a profound one, marking the culmination of her own journey. Initially, Mai was defined by her fame and her reluctance to open up, but over the course of the series, she allows herself to become vulnerable, sharing her heart with Sakuta. Their relationship is a beautiful example of how love, grounded in understanding and compassion, can provide the strength to overcome even the most difficult of challenges. In a final reflection on the nature of adolescent syndrome, the series suggests that while these personal struggles may never fully go away, they can be faced with courage and love. Adolescence syndrome is not just a supernatural phenomenon, it represents the universal experiences of growing up, of learning to navigate the turbulent emotions of youth, and of finding one's place in a complicated world. By the end of the series, the characters have learned that facing their fears and embracing their true selves is the key to moving forward. Even years after its initial release, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai remains one of the most beloved and emotionally impactful anime of its time. Its unique blend of supernatural mystery, heartfelt romance, and psychological depth has left a lasting impression on audiences worldwide. But what exactly makes this series so special? Why does it continue to resonate with so many people, long after the final episode aired? The answer lies in its brilliant storytelling, deep character exploration, and universal themes of self-discovery, love, and human connection. One of the most defining aspects of Bunny Girl Senpai is how it takes common adolescent struggles and presents them in a way that feels both fantastical and deeply real. While the supernatural elements of adolescence syndrome add intrigue and mystery, the real heart of the show lies in how these phenomena mirror real emotional struggles. Whether it's Mai's invisibility reflecting the fear of being forgotten, or Keith's trauma manifesting as physical wounds, each arc takes an aspect of adolescence and turns it into a powerful, visual metaphor. This storytelling approach makes the series not just engaging, but also profoundly relatable. Another reason for the show's lasting impact is its characters, particularly Kaede Azusagawa. In many romance or harem-style anime, the male protagonist often falls into generic tropes, either overly bland or frustratingly indecisive. But Sakuta breaks this mold. His sarcasm, blunt honesty, and deep emotional intelligence make him one of the most compelling male leads in anime. He isn't just someone who fixes the girls around him, he learns from them, grows with them, and faces his own struggles along the way. His chemistry with Mai, in particular, elevates the romance beyond superficial attraction, making their relationship feel truly authentic. The show's popularity also owes much to its emotional impact. From the lighthearted, witty banter between characters to the devastatingly heartbreaking moments, especially in Keede and Shoko's arcs, Bunny Girl Senpai strikes a balance between warmth and sorrow that few anime achieve. It's not afraid to tackle difficult topics like mental health, self-worth, and grief, and it does so in a way that feels both respectful and deeply moving. Many viewers have found comfort in the series, relating their own struggles to those faced by the characters, making it an anime that stays with people long after they finish watching. Beyond its narrative and emotional depth, the series has also cemented its cultural impact. The iconic image of Mai Sakurajima in her bunny girl outfit has become one of the most recognizable anime visuals of the modern era. Her character design, combined with her personality, has made her one of the most beloved female leads in anime. The success of the series led to the production of the sequel film, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, which further explored Shoko's story and delivered one of the most emotionally intense moments in the entire franchise. And even beyond that, the series continues to expand with new light novel adaptations and upcoming films. At its core, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai is more than just an anime about supernatural events and high school romance. It's a story about the struggles we all face growing up, the fear of change, the pain of rejection, the difficulty of understanding who we are. It reminds us that we are not alone in these experiences and that the relationships we build, the people who support us, and the moments we share are what truly define us. That's why, years after its release, the series continues to hold a special place in the hearts of anime fans around the world. And for many, Bunny Girl Senpai isn't just a show, it's a reminder of how love, understanding, and human connection can help us through even the most difficult times. And just like that, our journey through Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai comes to a close. But if there's one thing this series teaches us, it's that stories like these don't really end, they stay with us, shaping the way we see the world, just as Sakuta and Mai's story continues to linger in the hearts of fans everywhere. This isn't just an anime about supernatural mysteries or high school romance. At its core, Bunny Girl Senpai is a story about people, about the invisible struggles we all face, the pain we hide, and the moments of connection that remind us we're not alone. Every character's journey, from Mai's fear of being forgotten to Keith's painful road to recovery, represents something deeply human. Whether it's a longing to be seen, the burden of expectations, or the scars of the past, this series finds a way to turn emotions into something tangible, something real. If you guys stuck to this point, be sure to comment down below this emoji and drop a like and subscribe to the channel.